Steve Wozniak is the other founder of Apple. It was he, with Steve Jobs, who created the company, but Wozniak, or the Woz as he's known, is the real god in the Apple firmament. He was the engineer. He was the one that designed and built the Apple I and the Apple II, and is, as such, responsible for creating Apple's world. With Steve Jobs, he changed the face of computing. Now, he doesn't do many interviews, so when we found him hiding on the stairs at the London IMAX cinema, we dragged him over to the cameras for a quick natter. Steve, welcome to Click.
Well, nice to be here. We don't get this back in the States, I don't think.
I'll send you a DVD.
Is there a URL?
Yeah, I'll give it to you
good.
in a minute. So you are an engineer at heart, aren't you? You are the stereotypical engineer who actually seems to be up to his arms in silicon all the time.
I made myself and told myself that that's what I would be for my entire life, that I appreciated and respected it the most back when I was 20, forming my life's philosophies. And now I'm not really able to be the same kind of engineer I was back then, or the same kind I had in mind. Engineering is important to me. Engineers and geeks are special people to me. The way they think, what they do, it's the interesting things in life. They're a lot more interesting than the CEO who has done all the most amazing business deals. I could care less. But to some extent, you know, I get involved with, after Apple, starting a lot of small startup companies and working with them, and to some extent I have to use a little bit of marketing and management oversight too.
Take us back to the day then, back to the start of Apple. What was it like back then?
It was a total revolution. We felt that we were creating this, and fortunately we had this incredible technology already developed, thanks to me, which was the computer. We didn't have to go seek money with ideas on paper of something we could do. We had it in front of us. We were telling the world, look at this. This is going to change the world. And then the big companies, IBMs and Hewlett-Packards, were saying, no, it's going to be small time. The hobby is just working with a couple tools at home, kind of like building your little models, you know. It's just going to be a small thing, and that fired us up even more. No, we're going to change life for everyone. The little 10-year-old kids are going to be programming better than the guys who make, you know, tens of thousands of dollars in salary for the big companies, and the guy who knows how to program is going to be worth more than the CEO, and we're going to, you know, groups that want to march are going to be able to organize because they'll share their messages on computer systems. I mean, we had all these great social goals.
What do you make of Apple today, you know, 30 years on? Or however long it is from when you guys really started the project. You look at Apple, what do you think of it now?
I'm amazed that it's so well respected in a lot of ways. The fact that people in the early days loved our products, and the other ones, they only bought them if they didn't have enough money. That's still the case to this day.
What do you make of, for example, the iPhone hacks, where you can unlock your iPhone and start downloading apps that don't come from the App Store? Connect it to a different network. You know,
I love it.
The hackers are out there and they want to get inside this thing and they want to break it down.
And some of the applications, I mean, you have applications now that will record video, and it's pretty good quality, 15 frames a second. And I'm a user, so I want those things. Yeah, I want more of the world, and I don't like to be locked off from it, because I'm the sort of person who wants to sit down and actually write some hacks and, you know, and code them up, some easy programs that are either fun or useful. And that's the whole idea of open source movements.
There are some of our viewers right now saying, could you pop in and talk to Steve Jobs about that?
Well, listen to this. The iPhone is not necessarily a raw computer platform. It also includes a cellular phone, and it attaches to a cell network. And you need to have certain levels of security to protect the network, to protect your relationship with the carriers. So the iPhone is probably taking some very reasonable steps to avoid somebody figuring out how to step over a very bad line that would hurt us.
Steve Jobs has told Click that it's a cat and mouse game, you know, to stay ahead of the hackers.
I agree.
And keep them out.
Well, I agree with Steve. I kind of also side with the hackers, because Steve and I both were a little bit of hackers when we grew up and we were younger. Maybe you forget that when you become a businessman, but yeah, I don't think the hackers would do it if it weren't a cat and mouse game. I think that's the main motivation. They're not doing it to make money. They're not doing it to hurt people.
So maybe if Jobs is watching this, which I believe he does every week, he should open up to the hackers and invite the innovation in.
No. I'm not saying. I'm saying I agree. The cat and mouse game is good. No. The company has a lot of responsibilities to protect the product too.
How often do you see Steve now? Are you still close?
I don't see him very often. I could see him more, and I wish I did. I really like him. Really appreciate him. I see him at Apple events. We're not close. We're friends. We've never been other than friends. We've never had, like, you find one person that's ever seen us, you know, throwing things at each other or fighting. No. We both are in the press, and sometimes I get misinterpreted by the press all the time, and they say that I'm trashing Apple's iPhone when I love it more than anything I've ever had in my life. But one of the words I said lets them put out like that. And I think he gets a bad impression sometimes of things that I'm saying about Apple. But no, I love him.
What's next for the Woz?
I actually have a couple of little technology companies that I'm close to and dealing with, but I'm not going to talk about them.
You're always going to be in the background, just masterminding the next revolution. Is that right?
No. I hope I hope more children. Every time I have a child, I hope this is the child that will change the world for the better.
Steve, thank you.
Yeah.